Okay, we're live now. All right. So I don't know. They probably didn't hear any of that. You're very patient and very kind for being, for hanging in there with us. So thank you very much. What I've been basically talking about is what an incredible experience it has been for me over the last 35 years to be involved with the Cellercise family. All of you quality, good people. The Toscarinas, the Sally and the Stephanies, and the Reggies, and all those, everybody that's out there is helping to contribute to the effort of making this a life-changing experience for so many of us. As I mentioned a moment ago, I've been involved in this for over 35 years, and I've had a body that has been torn apart and put back together, and that Cellerciser has been the tool that has done absolutely miraculous things for me in my life, and I've been grateful to be a part of the industry in helping to promote it and affect and improve the quality of life of all of those who have been part of the program. And I want to thank all of you for sharing it with others, for being involved with it, for experiencing it, and for adding your energy and your knowledge, your expertise, your experiences with us, because it makes a big difference. It's been over 35 years, and I am every bit as excited, if not more excited about this today as I was when I first started. And for those of you who heard me or couldn't hear me a moment ago, one of the things I shared was the idea that the cells of our body are imbued with an intelligence. They know how to create, maintain, and heal this body, frankly, better than any doctor or health practitioner. But rather than work with the cells, often we manipulate them or end up working against them, and we don't even know that we're doing it. Well, there's a great many doctors, and many of them are associated with us in the Cellercise family, who recognize it is better, when possible, to work with the body and help the body do the job it already best knows how to do. And we want to thank all of you who are involved in that modality and that belief system, because that is the future and that is our potential. That's how we're going to be able to reach our greater health and fitness potential. So today we're going to go over some questions, some customer reviews. If you have any questions, please include them. And Justice is over here and he will feed some of those questions back to me. Thank you, Justice. And if you can get a little strap of some sort or a belt, we're going to do some shoulder exercises in just a little bit. Shoulders are real important, and I know mine have been stiff. I was in high school, I was a pole vaulter, and I would run down the field really, really fast, and I'd plant that pole, and boom, every time it would jerk the shoulders. And so, yeah, accumulatively over time, that did a toll, as well as other crazy things that I've done. But some of the movements I'm going to share with you today, if you have shoulder issues, for years until I discovered or created Cellercise, I couldn't even throw a ball. I couldn't do it. My shoulder wouldn't allow me to do it. And now I'm able to do it again, which is wonderful. So there are many different approaches we can take on the Cellerciser, whether you have knee problems, hip problems, back problems, shoulder problems, digestion, elimination issues, weight loss issues, stress reduction, opening up the bronchial tubes in the lungs. I had a chance to talk with somebody a little bit earlier today on the power breathing, and they were absolutely amazed. There was an issue that they were dealing with. I don't remember what it was right now, but the Cellerciser was something that I demonstrated for her, and she was just blown away. And many of you have seen it, the what I call the power breathing. I took the balance bar off because we're just going to be working with shoulders today, and you can hold on to your balance bar, that's fine. I just wanted you to be able to see my movements. But the power breathing is done by putting the palms of your hand basically in front of your face. You bend at the knee slightly. Now, this is not a meditation. This is an exercise for the bronchial tubes and the lungs. The purpose is to clear out garbage in the lungs, to open up the bronchial tubes, to get the other 1/3 of the lung that most people don't get enough oxygen to because we're shallow breathers. It opens up the larynx. If you like to sing or you're a speaker and your voice is important to you, and I've been on the phone all day today, then this can be a great way to open that up, get rid of that stress and tension, oxygenate the body, pump the lymphatic system, especially in the chest cavity area. It's so important, I believe. But you don't start off with more than maybe a half dozen breaths when you first begin, because it's an exercise. And if you haven't been exercising the lungs for a while, they may be a little sensitive when you first begin. But if you go slowly and you build up to it, then it becomes something that everybody can do. And initially you may sound a little wheezy when you do this. That's common. It's not unusual. Unless you're doing a lot of long distance running or swimming, that's probably going to be the case. But after a few weeks of this power breathing, the lungs begin to take on a different dynamic. The breathing sounds different. I think it's probably the third most important technique we can do on the Cellerciser for several reasons, but it goes like this. It goes, and I might continue to do that because it just feels good. But you can hear the difference in the voice. It's absolutely amazing, especially when you've been under a lot of stress or tension. So those people like to sing, you can project, the voice just takes on a different dynamic. So thank you for letting me do that. It felt good. All right, so let's get started. And if you know anybody who's a singer or a radio announcer whose voice is important to them, you might share that technique. It really is. It's amazing. All right, so we've got a couple of customer reviews here. And somebody asked me if I could go over the techniques that we develop for sciatic issues. And let's do that real quick. So sciatic wraps around the hip nerve area under the muscles in the thigh and down the leg. It's a nerve that when we get too much compression on it, then it can be very painful and almost debilitating if it gets extreme. What we want to do is open that area up, take the pressure off the nerve, increase the flexibility and circulation, reduce inflammation. And these techniques have been very, very helpful for a great many people. And for those of you who have not written me yet, please, and who have experienced that, please write me, because I want to be able to share your experiences with others as well. But it starts off gently with the baby bounce, which is just warming up the tissue. We want to warm up the tissue. As we're warming up the tissue, the cells are flexing, we're moving fluid up and down. Great technique. From here, we can do the hip rock. We just rock left to right. And as we're rocking left to right, we're working the muscles that support the hip, and we're starting to drop the hip into the mat a little bit, so it helps to loosen up that lower lumbar as well. But this is a great technique. And then from here, we just do a gentle twist, and that starts to take those muscles that wrap around the waist here, and it starts to loosen them up. You're also working on the vertebral joints along the spinal column and loosening those up. Just a great technique for a lot of reasons. This is a movement for digestion, elimination, helping to put the colon in the intestine through a little washing machine effect. This is the movement that targets the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, massaging all those internal organs as you move up and down, side to side. I don't think most people get anywhere near that kind of activity in their day-to-day life. And it helps to loosen up the lower lumbar too. From this point, then we keep our hips straight ahead. We're going to work the hip socket area. So now all we're doing is lifting our feet, and we're turning our feet and our knees left, right, but we're keeping our waist straight ahead. This is the number one movement that we have had over the years, just wonderful results with people. So just like this, and then we can go back to just the hip rock and the baby bounce or health bounce. Okay. Somebody asked me about finger dexterity, how to improve the fingers. Okay, so let's talk about that. And Ivo Perlman is one of our customers, and he's a saxophone player. And he called me up when he was on tour in Europe just to tell me how much better he's been playing since he'd been Cellercising. And this is the movement that I teach for finger dexterity. We put our hands straight down, gently bounce up and down until we can feel the pressure at the tips of the finger. When we feel the pressure at the tips of the finger, we know we're getting that circulation through all the extremities. We're pumping the lymph system, opening up the circulatory channels, and from there, then we move the fingers. We want to prime the body first with the movement up and down so the millions of one-way valves in the lymphatic system start pulling that circulation. Now on a Cellerciser, you're moving up very quickly. Somebody said, Cellerciser's jarring. I heard that last time. The Cellerciser eliminates jarring. What they are confused about is the Cellercise has resistance. We have to have resistance to move the lymph fluid, to build up muscle mass and bone density. Jarring is when you come down and stop abruptly. If you want to know the difference, jump up and down on the ground, and then jump up and down on the Cellerciser. There's no jarring, but there's enough resistance to move the fluid. If the unit was too soft, and this often happens with many people, then it creates compaction on the lymph and circulatory systems, and more you think you're doing something fun, it's good, and it's supposed to be healthy for you, but if you're not careful, you get more and more stress on the joints, on the knees, in the hip, in the back, and that becomes more painful over time, accumulatively. So we want to have resistance and then release. So we expel the fluid, we vacuum, the lymphatic system holds a negative pressure. It helps to pull that circulation back in between the joints. So by doing this, we prime the body. After we prime the body, then we can do different movements with our fingers and wiggle them around a little bit here, and put them up on top, wiggle around a little bit. And you don't have to do a lot of that, but you can do enough of it so that our objective is to open up and increase the circulation between the bones and joints. Now as we're moving up and down, we're moving fluid. And so that helps to increase that circulation between those joints. Okay, somebody asked, Rachel, another wonderful member of the Cellercise family, really remarkable lady. She's out there changing lives also. And she called me up a couple months ago and said, David, this thing's amazing. And I said, I know. She said, no, you don't know. This is really amazing. All I'm doing is watching a show on TV, and I'm just baby bouncing. And I'm losing weight. I've got muscles popping out. My body is changing. And I say, yeah, you're flexing every single cell of your body over 100 times a minute for 10 solid minutes. She has been, in fact, I just had a customer call in today of hers that I had a chance to talk to, which was wonderful. And so I remembered Rachel. But that movement, up and down, we often make it harder than we need to. If you take the body, for example, and you tighten the stomach muscles, and you tighten the chest, and you tighten your arms and your shoulders, and you tighten your buttocks, and you tighten your legs, and you hold that while you're bouncing for several minutes, and then release. You want to release it, and then do it again. You got an isometric that is going to create toning and definition and strength all over the body. So that's those are some of the things I wanted to share from this last week. John writes, I've just got a comment on the Mr. Rebounder app experience. I've rebounded for years, on and off. I saw this app some time ago, but only in the last 7 months have I decided to subscribe and catapult my rebounding to new heights of enjoyment and health. I tinker with things. That is something I enjoy. So after listening to a variety of music included in the app, I noticed something interesting. There is a simple way to mute the music, but the ding between exercises still rings out. So I have the app on my iPad, which is on a stand on a shelf in front of my rebounder. I play music or a podcast from my phone through speakers in my room. We're going to do that tonight. And I still hear the ding easily, marking time to move to the next movement. Wow, custom playlists while rebounding. Lastly, thank you, Dave, for the app update. I love the new graphics, just beautiful. Let's go, John said, you know, it was funny because when he called me, the app wasn't, you know, we were having some issues with it and it hadn't worked for a few days. And he said, David, I got to have my ding. I got to have my ding. I have to start the day with my ding. I'm like, I love that. We're going to use it. So for everybody who wants to have their ding, you have the Cellercise app and you can have your ding. And I agree with that. I love it. John, thank you very much. On the app, the way that we do it in our family, and I've shared this before, is we turn on a television show. So we'll be watching the show. And then we'll have the app on the iPad or on the cell phone that we can mount on our balance bar. So we're watching this show, we turn on the app. This is a daily occurrence with us. And we, my daughter, it's just a way of life. We turn on the show, we watch the show, we're enjoying the show. We turn on the app, and as we watch the show, we hear a ding, we look down, we see the next movement. We watch the show, ding, look down, see the next movement, watch the show. The time flies by. We're enjoying the show, but we're getting our ding. So thank you, John, for sharing it. Anna writes, as a longtime trampoline user, I know the value of a rebounder that does not cause injury, and I am grateful for the rebounder that David has created in the Cellerciser. I was also beyond impressed when I called the company and asked some questions about the unit, and David himself not only answered, but also stayed on the phone answering my questions and generously spending his time teaching me about the science and benefits of the Cellerciser. As a holistic psychotherapist from Colorado, I can tell that David and his company sincerely care about people's health and are on a mission to create greater health for all humans. What a blessing to the world this product, David and this company really are to the world today. Remember the old Coca-Cola slogan, wishing to buy the world a Coke? I wish I could buy the whole world a Cellerciser. Oh, man. Anna, oh, my goodness. You know, I had a chance to talk to her, too. This is the first time I've read this. And when I was talking to Anna on the phone, she is also a healer. I mean, she's out there helping people. And it was a privilege and honor to be able to work with her and know that she's now a part of the Cellercise family, too. So, Anna, thank you very much for being a difference and making one. Donna writes, I've been involved in fitness for 33 years. Now this is all capitalized. Nothing compares to the Cellercise. Too good to be true. Exclamation points. Donna, thank you. I agree with you. I'm so grateful for this. It works. Carmel writes, oh my, where to begin? I've had other cheap and expensive rebounders and nothing comes remotely close to the feel and response of the Cellerciser. My feet do not pronate and the bounce is much firmer than others without being jarring. Thank you, Carmel. Customer service is stellar. Oh, we tried. We dropped the ball sometimes, but we tried. This is a company with passion and heart. If this is their life's work, not a moment in this endeavor has been wasted. This is the best beauty and health product ever. If you could only spend your money on one thing, hands down, it would be the Cellerciser. Better spend your money and time here than on lotions, creams, or gizmos. Can you tell I'm sold? Carmel, thank you. You're beautiful. I appreciate it. And those are just wonderful reviews. Thank you, Dalian, for sending them to me. And thank you for writing them. You can write a review right on our website now. You go to our review section. and you just scroll down a little ways and you can upload a review right to our website so we can share it with others. So if you have anything you want to share, we'd love to hear from you. Okay, Penny writes, best rebounder on the market, 3 exclamation points and a great big heart. Mary says, how do I jump with benefits with pain in my knee? What can I do? Okay, there are many approaches to that, Mary. We can start off gently with just a health bounce up and down. We're not using our knees here, we're using our calf muscles. We're lifting our heels up and down. It's very gentle. We're helping to massage the tissue. Every cell membrane is exposed to weightless weight, over and over. So after we've done this, we start to warm up the tissue a little bit. Then we can just gently rock side to side. It's just this simple. This is easier than walking on the ground. If we have a weakness, good chance we're going to feel the weakness. But the Cellerciser is not jarring. What it's going to do is to help increase circulation, and then what we want to do is strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments around the joint. And we've had great experiences with this. It's not to say it's going to be the same with everybody, but a great many people have been very, very grateful that they have a quality of life again from doing the movements I'm about to show you now. So this gentle rocking side to side, real simple, works the hips, thighs, and the knees. And then from this movement, we just stop, hold our position. Best to hold on to balance bar so you don't fall backwards. Keep our back straight, and we just push down into the mat. Left, right, just like this. And as we're pushing down, it's gentle. We're not really pushing a lot of weight on the knee. We want to kind of push our knees out a little bit so we can hold them over our feet as we're doing it, so we can help strengthen the proper alignment of the knee so they're not pronating in. We don't want to do this. We do just push them out a little bit, walk in place, build up those muscles, and build up the knees that support it. That's where we begin. And then just gentle movement from here. From there, we can do more advanced movements, and we will. We'll do the ski patrol. We'll do the jumping up and down, the Cellercise squats, if you will. But those are more advanced. So those basic movements can be very helpful at increasing circulation. If we don't do something and we don't have strong enough supporting muscles and ligaments around the joints, we get more pressure on the joint, and then we lose the fluid between the joints and that cartilage, and we want to build that back up. But to do that, we also have to build and strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments. And we've got some great stories. You can read some of our customer reviews. I need to put mine on customer review too, because it's amazing. Elaine writes, okay, hello, I'm looking for information please on Cellercising post ischemic stroke. I'm 2 weeks past stroke and only a slight weakness on my left side remaining. Many thanks. Oh, Elaine, you want to talk to your doctor. Make sure you're not restricted or limited. The movement up and down on the Cellerciser helps pump with the heart. As we pump with the heart and we're moving up and down, we have these pressure changes that help back flush the valves, helping to open up the capillaries. The movement up and down helps to break up sticky blood cells so they circulate more effectively through the body. So all of that is a plus. We're stimulating up to 90% of brain activity as we're moving up and down and doing different movements. So as we get used to that, we're helping to train the brain synaptic nerve pathways in the brain so we can relearn and teach even those areas that might have become weak. So that's been very helpful to a great many people. We have a gentleman, I don't know if I mentioned this, I just finished a program. He showed up the door when I was getting ready to leave, and everybody that was there said, oh, I'll call him John. I think it was John. John, you should have seen this. And John had a stroke. He couldn't, I hope I didn't just share this. It feels like I did. I talked to so many people on the phone though. He said he couldn't even use his left arm. He was left-handed, but he couldn't use it. And they said, oh, you've got to try this. So I opened it back up. I got John on the Cellerciser, and I said, I want you to focus on the tips of your fingers. Just see if you can feel those. And if you can, great. If you can't, that's all right. You're moving fluid there. But just try to feel and be aware of the tips of your finger. And when you feel it, start to move your fingers around. Well, after several minutes, he started moving his fingers around. And he could feel that. And he was on it for quite a while. When he was done, for the first time since his stroke, he got off, he went over to a counter, he picked up a pencil with his left hand, put it on a piece of paper, and started to move it around. He couldn't write yet, but he was moving it. Do you think that made an impression on him? It made a huge impression on him. But it let him know that he had that potential. And if that's all we can do is help you understand, you have more. We all have a greater health potential. And that's what we're here to do. Okay, so gentle movement up and down. Gentle hip rock side to side. Those two movements. And check with your doctor. But that is less, it's not jarring like walking on the ground. Jenna writes, how can one get rid of cellulite? Cellulite, white adipose tissue. It's gotten hard, pushes way up through the epidermis, and often you have it at an early age. It just hasn't shown yet. Circulation is key. Okay. I have a doctor who you all know, you'd know his name. All of you would pretty much know his name. Once looked at the Jamba walk and the Jamba run that I designed. He said, David, that's so powerful, it'll grow new capillaries. Well, that probably happened because we have women who've gotten rid of their cellulite, and a couple in 2 and 3 weeks, which they were highly motivated, but it hasn't worked that way with everybody. But we can increase the circulation, increase the heat. This helps to soften the tissue, and that's what we want to do. But we want to get rid of it, and the only way we're really going to get rid of it is to increase the circulation in those areas. And there's several ways to do that. And we warm up the body again, the baby bounce, and then we do the Jamba run. It's better to hold on to a bar, otherwise you can have a tendency to fall backwards. And then you can also hold on to the bar or put your hands on the table, do the deep squats. You'll feel that, or you just jump up, come down, and you want to bend down. So if you have the pole to hold on to, you can bend down, jump up, bend down, jump up, bend down, and you just do a series of those. It won't take you long. You will feel it. But that helps to build up the muscle and increase the circulation to that area so that we can hopefully reduce, mitigate, or get rid of that cellulite to varying degrees. Jean writes, can you talk about what happens to the cells as you bounce? Do they get squished by G-force? Can you demonstrate how to position arms to build biceps and triceps? Thanks. Do they get squished by the G-force? Let's squish the cells. It applies weight to the cell membrane over and over as we move up and down. When we lift weight away from gravity, we apply weight to the muscle doing the lifting. When we increase the weight of gravity, we do the same thing. The difference with the Cellerciser is we're not just limiting the effect to one muscle. We're putting it on every cell membrane, every muscle, bone, connective tissue, ligament, tendon, skin, collagen, fascia, through the entire body. So yes, it's the G-forces causes the cells to respond by fortifying their membrane with more protein. They don't want to rupture. They don't care where the weight comes from. They don't care how sophisticated a piece of equipment is. Position the arms to build biceps and triceps. Yeah, we're not going to do that in our, well, I think we do have one routine we'll do tonight. But when we're doing an arm curl, if we're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. And if you're doing the app and you put the program, you can be watching a television program by the time You get up there a little ways, you're going to start to feel the burn in the arms. And as you're pulling up, you're working the front. As you're pushing down with the other arm, you're working the back. So and then you can switch arms, do the same thing on the other arm. And it's really pretty simple. It's all weight bearing anyway. Now, when I started, I didn't have those movements. That expedites, it quickens the results, no question. But I was just bouncing. And in 1 month, my wife asked me, she said, "Are you lifting weights?" Because, like Rachel and others, the muscles started to show. And that's what happened. Okay. Have you ever had a biological age test done? I bet you measure 20 years younger than your actual age. I hope so. I'm surprised I don't hear biohackers talking about this in their age reversal discussions on their podcast. You would be doing ultimate experimental proof given how long you've been doing it and that it is your only exercise. And Jamie, I agree with you. And if anybody wants to do tests, I'm available. We really need to. We need to do the tests and show what Cellercise can do. And yes, I think the next time we do this, I'll officially be 68 years of age. So, Justice, yes.
Michelle says, does leaning back and holding the belly, legs, and butt really tight while doing health bounce firm those areas?
Yeah, it sure can. Yeah, when you're holding the stomach and the buttocks and the legs tight and the chest tight and then bouncing, yeah, that's an isometric with an isotonic. The isotonic is the increase of weight against the cell membrane, causing the cell to fortify itself with more protein. The isometric is tightening and toning. And so you've got both with the G-forces occurring on the body. You don't get that in normal exercise. It's always one part or another part. Nothing wrong with that, but very different dynamic with Cellercise. Can you wear a weighted vest to jump? I don't recommend it. When you wear a weighted vest, depending on what the weight is, and you bounce with it, that's a lot more weight than what the vest itself is. I don't subscribe to it, and I've done okay. I don't lift weights. I do all my training on the Cellerciser, and it's been remarkable in how it's kept me fit. I joined for my 68th birthday, I decided, hey, I've always wanted to learn some martial arts. I think that's pretty neat. So I took a class, and let me tell you, thank goodness I Cellercised, because those kids are a lot younger than me. And I was able to keep up with it, which was really good. It made me feel good and let me know that even at my age, I can participate in something that might otherwise be difficult. So, love it. Trish says, I'm embarrassed to ask, but what about bowel incontinence? I don't have an issue most women have, and so I want to be rid of this one. Okay, so there's the sphincter muscle. Good question. Bladder controls the same thing. So what we do is we tighten those muscles, and while we tighten them, then we bounce with them tight. That puts more weight on the muscle. And as that muscle over time gets stronger and more resistant to the constant weight that we're putting on it, that can help with that strength. Judith writes, can you please talk about Cellercising and sinus health? I look forward to your next presentation. Thank you so much, and thank you, Judith. Sinus health, yes. For those who have allergies, colds, even sinus infections often, the movement up and down can break up the blockages. It can open up the circulation. We've done this many, many times, myself included. When I used to have allergies, they would drive me nuts, especially during certain times of the season. I had them pretty bad. I still remember taking Tristan and Contact and all these various different drugs when I was growing up, and because I didn't know about Cellercise. It took a few years of Cellercising, but after a few years of that, those things just didn't bother me like they did before at all, which was wonderful. But the movement up and down helps to improve the immune system, helps to improve the pumping, the lymphatic circulation, and it breaks up blockages. It's kind of like a dam holding back water. If you're congested and the dam's holding that water back, but it bangs against the dam over and over and over, pretty soon it can break through the dam, and that's what Cellercise can do. It can help break up blockages, open up that circulation in that area of the body. Now, as far as if you have any other physical issues with that might require an operation or something, a Cellercise. I don't know to what degree that can be helpful. But I know for most people it can be. Okay. Awakendigos, right. Awakendigos. What is your opinion about using sunscreen? Do you think we should protect our skin when the sun is shining really hot? Or is the sun good for us at any time? What do you recommend to maintain youthful skin besides using the Cellerciser? You know, I'm not expert. I don't know. I've heard both reports. I know that too much sun's not good for you. I used to lay out in the sun when I was a kid, 8 to 10 hours a day. I'd put baby oil on. I looked black. It didn't look good, but I was one of the dark, blonde, almost white hair, dark skin. I don't recommend that because I'm sure it took its toll on my skin as well. But, and Cellercise has probably helped me, no question. I don't know what sunscreens are good. There may be many of you that can comment on that here. I'm not in a position to share an opinion on that. D writes, what movement should I do on the Cellerciser to help bring in my hips, pelvis after having a baby? Oh yeah, all right, that's the sit and bounce. And that's done by just sitting down on the Cellerciser. You can help support your back as you're bouncing up and down. Just lean backwards a little bit. Now all those muscles are working just right there. And as you get stronger, take one leg, lift it up. And it's all being done right with these muscles. When the leg gets tired, lift up the other leg. But initially, you can support your back and just tilt backwards just like this. You're putting weight on the internal structures as well. So all those internal organs, it can help promote contractions and tighten and tone and strengthen that whole inside. Oh, are there any movements I can do to help with rib flaring? Yeah, I don't know anything that's going to be personally. You can work with chiropractors. Rib flaring, when the ribs kind of separate and come out, this area, it can be trauma, accidents can cause it, scoliosis can cause it, poor posture. One of the techniques that I teach on the Cellerciser is stand up and lift the chest up. Just roll the shoulders back a little bit, just roll them back. Hold that position, pull your chin in, and then bounce up and down so the movement up and down helps to strengthen your natural alignment. But this movement here can help because you're not favoring one side of the body over the other. So if you have an imbalance in the body, which can cause that, imbalances, but you're moving up and down equally and you're gently twisting. This gentle movement right here can help balance the muscles and help move bones into better alignment. Now, if you work with a chiropractor, it can happen faster. But this gentle movement right here, and then this movement here, again, it just helps increase flexibility and movement. All right. Any questions, Justice?
We just got one. Michelle said, you are so knowledgeable. Do you have a medical background?
No, but I've had the privilege and opportunity of working with a lot of doctors, and I've had a chance to share with them the experiences that our customer base over the last 35 years have had on the Cellerciser, and they, to a large degree, have been the ones who educated me on why they believe our customers have had these experiences. So I've worked with many different modalities, many different practitioners, and learned just kind of an eclectic encyclopedia, I suppose, of Cellercise and what it can do. And I probably will, I don't know when I want to retire, but I probably have to retire to get my book done so that I can share something that I think is going to be very profound and very helpful to the rest of the world, I hope. Okay, so let's get our Cellercisers. We're going to work on shoulder health today. Grab a belt if you have it, or you know, they've got those rubber strap things too, but we're going to use this to help increase with some flexibility of the shoulders. And Justice, you can turn on that music.
Right now?
Just one second, let me get, okay, so the routine, my workouts, is 21 minutes long, so that takes us just past 7 o'clock. So for all of you who want to join us, feel free to join us. It's concentrating specifically on shoulders. We'll get it on the Mr. Rebounder app eventually. We're going to get through some of these other issues we're dealing with the app first. But let's go ahead and get started. Jess, is you ready to? We're going to place the music on the app works only on the first movement, and then it stops. So they're in the process. We've got that fixed, which is, it may even be fixed now, but we have Apple that has to approve it. So what I'm going to do, not knowing, is we're just going to play some other music, and then it'll still ding in between movements, and you can all watch. Can they all see on the screen?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, you can help. Yeah, zoom in a little bit. All right. So let's do it, Justice. Go ahead and turn on the music. Whoop. Whoop. It's a little fast. Okay, health baby balance. Okay, now when we're doing this, we're warming up the tissue. I really believe that this is a much better technique than trying to stretch when you're cold. This offers stretch and flexibility, warms up the tissue before you stretch. Then stretching is fine. Justice, you want to turn on the Bluetooth on that? Do you know how to do that? Huh?
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay, that works. Okay, and next is the hip rock. Justice, can you make a note? Piece of paper and pencil, make a note. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, say we need to see a bigger button for next routine coming up. Thank you. And I want to thank many of you who have written in to let us know about the issues on the Mr. Rebounder app and for suggestions on how to improve it. I appreciate that too. 8 seconds, 7. All right. Okay, so we're going to stretch that right shoulder by pulling the shoulder in front of our chin, just that direction, and just feel some gentle stretch. The movement up and down, when we get to the point where we feel the tension, the movement up and down helps to automatically increase flexibility and loosen up and relax that muscle tissue. So this is literally like a massage at the cellular level. Okay, the other side. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this or not, but it feels good. Okay. I'm backwards. There we go. So we're warming up all the muscles around the shoulder right now. We're also leveraging, increasing some of the weight on the shoulders by bouncing with them. So we're actually strengthening the shoulders at the same time. Five seconds. Okay, so up and down, just like that. Getting some stretch in the shoulder area. You want to try to get your bicep close to your ear, but you don't have to force it. I think I'll develop a routine for hips too. But again, we'll continue to add more and more movements and routines to the Mr. Rebounder app. 5 seconds. This is similar to a jumping jack. You can even do that if you want. Want to feel a little stretch every time you do that if you can. Two, 1, 0. Okay, back to this one. Yes, Justice.
Catherine says, how do the new routines get added to our subscription?
Oh, they'll automatically be added. You'll be able to go into your subscription and you will find them. They'll be putting another one that we just did recently in as soon as they get some of the other issues on the app done, and then we'll get this one. So there's 2 new routines that will be coming forward. Next movement. Yes.
She also asked, where will we find them then?
Okay, probably in the intermediate section. I'm in the intermediate section. We're getting a lot of movements in the advanced section. Okay, this is just a hip rock where we take our shoulders and we just kind of lift them up and down, getting them ready for the next set of movements. Thank you, Justice. Okay, so this one is done by just grabbing the elbows or the wrists, whatever you're comfortable with as far as flexibility. Get to the point where you feel the stretch and then just bounce. So the bouncing helps to, again, massage that tension and increase that flexibility. So we're doing it this way, then we're going to reverse the arms and just put the other arm there and this arm here. One side maybe a little tighter than the other. It is with me, so. But again, it's just. Yes, Justice.
Catherine says, how will they be listed?
How will they be listed? This one is going to be shoulder health, shoulder routine. It may be shoulder routine number 1. Now we reverse again, go to the other side. And then, trying to remember what the other one was, I just did.
And then Align says, are you going to use a band?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to use yeah, you can use bands, but just something you hold on to. I've even done it with a belt before. And again, switch to the other side. They should be getting a little looser now. Okay, now is the band. So again, just kind of put that over your head and reach down. What you're going to do is take this arm and pull it up some, just so where you feel comfortable, feel the stretch. And when you feel that tension, just gently bounce and allow that to massage that tissue. And those ligaments, and those tendons, and those muscles. And we do the same thing the other way. Five seconds. Switch back to the other one again. If you don't have a band, you can do another shoulder movement. Give them a little bit of a workout here. Okay, So now we're just going to relax a little bit. We're going to work on the rotator cuff. So our elbows are straight ahead. We've loosened up muscles and ligaments. So we're going to put our elbows straight ahead, and then we're going to put them up over our head, comfortably as we can. There's a huge dynamic occurring right now on those shoulder muscles. If you put your fingertips in the muscle, you can feel how much they're expanding and contracting. Well, that same force is being applied from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet, but it's not jarring. It's simply massaging it, but with resistance. We have to have resistance or we don't get the benefit. And you're flexing over 100 times a minute on the Cellerciser. That's a lot. See, we've done lots of different things on the Cellerciser. We've worked on aerobics, we've worked on flexibility, we've worked on strength. Okay, shoulder crunches. Forward. Back. Forward. It didn't ding. Can you make a note, Jessis? And then back. That it missed some dings on the shoulder crunch. Go back and look at it. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to give them a little bit of a workout. So we're going to strengthen these muscles, the shoulder rolls. The G-force is created on the shoulders as we're moving up and down with our arms extended. It's quite a bit. It really is on the shoulder. Over our head. We're out to the side. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, there we go. Out to the side. Justice on the shoulder swirls. Can you put review the shoulder swirls? Because one of the movements got mixed. Front. Thank you. Yeah.
Joanne says, hi Dave, I got my Cellerciser last month. It's still a bit noisy. I have oiled it several times with green oil. It's not a squeak, it's more the spring expanding and contracting. Thanks, Joanne.
You bet. Okay, springs don't squeak unless you oil the coils. If you've oiled the coils, that's the only way that the spring itself is going to squeak. Otherwise, it only squeaks with the two ends rubbing against steel. But if you sprayed and you got oil on the coils, it'll be very squeaky until you get that off. You can wipe it off with a towel, and it may take, a week or so for that to go away. or you can take some Dawn detergent or Dawn dishwashing soap and water, and you can scrub and hose off the springs and then start over. But you only want to get the oil on the two ends of the spring, not on the coils. Many of us have done that before though. But you can hear how they're all built the same. You can hear how quiet it can be. And I haven't oiled this one for many months. As it breaks in, as the steel polishes itself, it gets quieter and quieter, smoother and smoother. It's not a huge workout, but it's something to help treat the shoulders for strength and flexibility. So. And they should be feeling better now, if they weren't before. Mine are feeling better. I think this is the last set. Okay, little hip rock. Okay, so we're coming to the end now. We'll do the little hip rock, but you can move the shoulders up and down a little bit. There's another movement where, I don't know if I included it, I will, where you can lean forward, grab hold of the frame, and just lean back, and that helps open up and improve shoulder flexibility too. In fact, oh, there it is, sure enough. Okay, so just bend over, just kind of rock back. Get some stretch. Five, four, three, 2, 1. I want to make sure it ding. It did ding. Okay. And then 30-second cool down. And that's it. That's all for the shoulders. And again, we'll be adding more. But thank you for being a part of the session. If you think this was helpful and you want to share it with others, please do so. And we look forward to hearing from you in a couple weeks. Please, thank you for your patience, for all of you who have the Cellerciser app as we continue to get it to work. And we change and update some of the additional features. And please send in your reviews, customer reviews, experiences you have. It makes a difference, as many of you know. Thank you so much, again, for being a difference, for sharing the program with others, because that's what we're here. We're here to make a difference. Thank you. Feel free to give me a call if I can be of any help. Leave a message on the answer machine. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to get back, because I'm on the phone literally from 9 to 5 or more, virtually every day. So, except Sundays. Yeah, but anyway, thank you. Be well. And remember, you don't have to work out when you can play in. Take care.